So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back again to Canon Fodder TV, apparently a channel for people in Central South America, North America, and all over the world, man. Oh, my goodness. Gunners, we get all over the place, all over the place. But we've got two returning familiar faces and one newbie on this Easy Talk. And actually, we're waiting for John Nagiza, but we're going to get into this one on the other side of this music intro. Yes, indeed. Welcome back again to Canon for the TV, and it's going to be the last Easy Talk of 2023. And let's make sure we go out with a bang before we enter a new year. But with further ado, let's kind of do the intros and hellos. Jonathan, how are you?
Fine, fine, Alex. Thank you. I'm in Mexico doing some vacations, as I told you. I'm very happy with the club and with everything what is happening. You know, my positive, I am a
Positivity.
positoxic. Positoxic, full positoxic is the best moment to be a full positoxic in this moment, and I'm really, really scared about tomorrow because it's Liverpool. You know, it's Liverpool. Uh, Yeah, that's it.
Keep it positive. Be positive. Be positive, Jonathan.
Hey, John.
Eldrick, my friend, and you.
Hello. I'm the same. I'm always being positive. Since Arteta's arrival, we've been having an amazing growth. Last season was fun. This one is gonna be even funnier. We hope that we can end the all the remaining matches in our best place. Hopefully, crossing fingers that we can be champions, and we have an excellent test for today against one of the rivals that we're gonna match during the full season. But I'm excited. I'm positive.
Yeah, nice one, man. You got to keep it positive, man. You got to be positive. You got to be positive. And the newbie Lee. Welcome to your debut on Canon 40 TV. How are you, fella? How you doing?
I'm good. Really good to be here, guys. As I mentioned earlier, I'm just in New York. I don't live here. I'm just here for 4 days. So yeah, it's great to meet you all. It's always good to talk about my favourite topic, Arsenal, because unfortunately my missus has to listen to me going on about the football. I think she just switches off. So it's good to chat with like-minded people who've got a passion. Funny enough, I was in the lift coming down from the hotel room, and a packed lift. Like New York's really packed this time of year, uh, and there was door open. There was very little space, and a lady stepped in. There was barely room for her husband, and I thought he seems like a nice fella. I'll squeeze up and give him some room. Uh, and he squeezed up next to me, and he actually turned around and said, uh, "Thanks for making room for a gooner." You,
What?
I swear to God, he said, thanks for making room for a gooner. And he said, you guys probably don't know what I'm talking about. And I stood next to him. I just held up my iPhone with my picture of Liam Brady on it. I said, yeah, yeah. So I said, I obviously had a good vibe to squeeze up that much more just to let you in. So he couldn't believe it. So as we getting out of the lift, I said, make sure you're watching the game. He goes, oh no, I can't watch it. We're only here for 2 or 3 days. And like looking at his
Oh,
wife as if to say, I really want to see it, but I can't mix with it. And I went, you can watch the game. As we walked out, he said, thanks, fella. Thank you.
nice one.
Hopefully that'll make a difference. She'll let me watch
Nice
it.
one. Nice one, Lee. Well, the fact that you mentioned Liam Brady, he's actually my legend. And I've actually
Oh,
met him as
brilliant.
well, spoken to him. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant.
Right, guys. So, on the top of the show, within the hours, a bit of breaking news. Ask this Super League people. Apparently, Arsenal have said that they're not going to join the Super League for
Jet,
now. I think,
for
Jonathan,
now.
the Super
Yes,
League.
for now. For now. I love the idea against the monopolies. I love that idea. I don't like monopolies, so FIFA has to lose the monopoly, and that's is great. First, because it's just economy, free market. Okay, but if something will be done um, out of the FIFA, has to be something for the fans. not for the money. And in these times, everything is about money. So I hope the clubs create something to give to the fans, to give to the football lovers, not to give money to the owners. Because is I know I'm being idiot saying this because they will do it for the money, but the most that they can for the supporters, because for the show, if they will take something out of FIFA, they have to do something very very special for us.
Mm.
And the Superliga doesn't look so good, even because it's coming from Florentino, and it's
Yeah,
Florentino,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Aldrin, your thoughts about this so-called Super League and Arsenal saying actually we're not going to join? I thought, well, yeah,
Well,
you're not going to join for now.
same as Jonathan. I think that the idea of trying to make an engagement with the fans sounds great. It sounds perfect, but I hope that this has a positive outcome in regards to UEFA and FIFA, because if you see, um, I started watching European football and I got in love with Arsenal in 2001. What happened in 2001? I just have to get cable at home for me to be able to watch those games. Up to this day, if we're talking on this era, if you don't pay for it, you won't be able to watch it properly or to even watch it at all. Champions League, Premier League, they used to be for everyone. So I hope that they can start thinking about it and get that mentality to bring us closer to the game. They are, if you don't have money, you are being separated from it. That was one joy, that you were going like after high school or after school, that you were able to go to watch a game at home or to a friend's house. That's something that is missing and is very essential for football. If I'm in with the Super League, I can tell you if I'm in or not, because there is nothing specified yet on what are they going to do exactly with it. In case that is going to be something that we are going to enjoy, that is going to bring us closer, well, it's more than welcome. But if it's not, if it's something that is going to make more money, or that we have to pay in order to see it, or we have to pay more money, it doesn't make any sense at all. But I hope
Mm.
that this have a good domino effect, so FIFA and UEFA can wake up. That's a wake up call for me.
Yeah, and for Lee, what are your thoughts on this Super League, whether Arsenal joins or not?
Yeah, I'd rather, support what the club has said about not being interested. Whether that'll remain the case, we don't know. Personally, to me, if the Super League starts up, it's like out of the frying pan into the fire.
To fire.
It's people doing other stuff for money. Let's face it, the Spanish, I think, are driving it basically because they're looking at our shiny Premier League our amazing product and the amazing money it generates, which quite frankly dwarfs anything they do in their country. So they're pushing for it. So talking from a selfish point of view, why would we go for it? It's like turkeys voting for Christmas. Right? We've got a great product. So I don't believe we need to be. It's more the other way around. And like the guys said about, hopefully it will create something for the fans. I mean, call me a cynical old man. They don't do anything for fans. As someone alludes to, it's all about the money. So for me, I just think, I think FIFA have proven to be corrupt. UEFA, so are probably corrupt. They almost certainly are. I think there needs to be regulation. I'm not in favour of regulation for regulation's sake, but they obviously need it. It's out. The game does belong to the fans, right? And
Mm.
I was listening to a thing on the radio yesterday about football being the soccer, as they called it in the US, being the biggest game because it's easy to understand. Everyone can play football with a ball. It's the number one sport in the world. So these people are making a lot of money out of it. So I just think just some regulation around FIFA and UEFA, just to make it transparent. So when they pull names out of a hat like Russia and Qatar for a World Cup, and everybody shakes their head and says, "Well, we know why they've given it to Russia and Qatar." I just think there needs to be some sort of safeguard so that everywhere's different regions should have World Cups. I get that, but it just
Mm.
everyone's thinking, no, I don't believe it. It's corrupt. So I think there needs to be somebody in charge of football. It may as well be UEFA and FIFA. It just needs to be regulated, right? But I don't think that they're ever going to do anything for the fans as such. It's always going to be uh, for them ultimately to get what they can out of the game, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But it is. I think it's the way it is.
Before I go to John Guna, Lee, would you agree in some part to Super League if it meant the money was going to trickle down to all the leagues in Europe? Because grassroots football, that's where it starts, isn't it? But if
Yeah.
this lower down would be seeing that income stream to sustain them over a long period of time, would you have any problems with the Super League?
No, I
Still?
think you make it. I think you make a brilliant point. You make an excellent point, and that should be happening anyway with
Yeah.
the Premier League. If that happened, that'd be brilliant. I'd be more. There'd be two things that make me more supportive. One, as you great point that you make, it trickles down, right? The amount of money, and number two, I kind of think that it's. I don't know. As long as there's fair competition, there's promotion and relegation, and I wouldn't want things to fundamentally change. Again, from being selfish, we've been watching football for most of our lives, right? I wouldn't want to be playing Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich every sort of 6 to 8 weeks, and our game to fundamentally change. If it, the old saying, if it isn't broken, don't try and fix it. So I'd want to keep it. Maybe have less Premier League matches and maybe more European, but nothing fundamental. I mean, some of the changes I've heard, the potential changes I've heard about, where they're saying it's fundamentally going to change the way our league looks. I won't be in favour because we got a great product, right? Same for the other countries, right? I don't think no fundamental changes, and if it trickles down to fans, then I'll be up for it.
Yeah. All right. John the Geezer has entered the building. Evening, fella. How are you?
Evening fares out the Gremlins. I come down the kitchen. Could get me Wi-Fi. Good to see Lee and the other two fellas on there. In regards to that Super League, I've got no time for it at all. As a format, as a cup competition, I'm kind of up for it. But it's just about making their money. It's no fault for the fans. It'll all be money. Do you know what I mean? It's just lining their pockets. I don't think the fans have got a lot of say in it anyway now from the old days and the way it is. It's just got to accept the money men are taking over it for the minute. But not only that, it'd be boring. Same old clubs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same old teams playing each other. You can't get relegated. Hopefully, if that statement what Arsenal said is true, fair play to them. Do you know what I mean? I just, the magic of seeing teams like Luton come up into the Premier League. That's what I love about football.
Yeah.
The FA Cup, when these non-league teams come in, it's the little community teams. They come all the way. They make it into the first round of the FA Cup or the third round, and it's a massive buzz, and they make loads of money out of it. That trickles down to their little community. But it's all going, isn't it? All that, you know what I mean? They're just greedy people. And a good point Lee was saying, who actually does run the football now? Who runs the FA? Who runs the UEFA? Years ago, you knew all these people were, didn't you? That guy, the Everton fella that just died, bless him. Bill, what's his name? He was massive in it. Same as the Arsenal guy. Do you know what I mean? He was massive in all that. But now it just seems like faceless people making loads of money and ain't really got a clue about Arsenal. From what I hear, the woman that runs Arsenal, no offence to her, she just don't engage with the fans at all. Any of these supporters trusts or nothing. They just they're no interest in it. You know what I mean? It's just purely money. The fans need to get back a bit of control, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well said. Well, actually, let's get into the first topic of the East talk, and that was in regards to a midfielder that we brought, who for some reason plays as an inverted right back, Thomas Partey. Now, I'm just thinking, Jonathan, we've got 21 games left to go. And before Thomas Partey goes off to the African Cup of Nations, but we saw what happened last season. Arsenal kind of fell off the trail to win the Premier League. But do you think Thomas Partey still has a role to play before the season's done, Jonathan?
Okay. Good question. So just for you,
I try.
for you, Beck, because I know it's your hero, and so so this is very important. The contract of the player is with a club, okay, and the player has in order to comply, that contract has to comply a lot of clause. Okay, a lot of points. One of the points, and one of the main point, some people say is the only important thing, but it's not, is on the field. Okay, where the player is giving on the field. Other is what the player is giving in the trainings. Other is what the player is creating for the club, regarding social things, or regarding money, contracts, advertising, marketing. Okay, so if we will be putting only the on the field things for Partey, Partey is a great player, and he has been giving a lot to the club when he is fit. Okay, he
Hmm.
has missed 19 games on the season. Okay, and he has having some matters, some problems. I don't care about the problems, but imagine this. Imagine Ronaldinho or Romario or George Best. Imagine then that you remember all times they used to play, but also have parties and also drink and a lot of things, but they complied on the field. Imagine then doing all of that kind of things and doesn't comply on the field. Imagine that. They will the Ronaldinho or Romario or George Best was not a good remember for you. So this man is doing a good job in on the field when he's playing, but he's not doing a good job for the club. Okay, he's not doing a good job for the club. So for me personally, Partey has to be sold on January, in the moment that we have the enough moment to have money from him, with the United Arab League or whatever, or Italy, or whatever. Because if arise June and he's still missing games because in the AF's con or another injury or whatever, the price will be low and low and low and low. He's not granting the enough for the club, even when he's granting a lot on the field, but he's not playing on the field neither. So
But Johnson, I thought you're supposed to be positive, man. You're
no,
supposed
no,
to be
no,
positive.
because for me, Partey is a great player on the field, but he's not a great asset for the club.
Yeah,
It's a loss for me. It's a
yeah,
loss for the club.
yeah. I'll do it for you, man. Thomas
Well,
Partey.
Thomas Partey, I have to be clear, he was like the video game signing that I always did in past years. He is basically a dream come true for me to have that player on the team. And what I can say about Thomas Partey, I have to be honest, I wouldn't sell him because we need him. We know what he can offer when he's on the field. We know the numbers and how the teams improve while he's playing. Now, I think that this is his last chance. The fact that I admire him, it doesn't make me see the reality. He has been unfortunate with the injuries, but if he's going to be fit, we are gonna need him until the end of the season, and this is his chance to prove that he can be worth it, that we can renew him in case that he recovers properly. So at this stage of the season, I wouldn't sell him because in case that Declan Rice get injured or in case that Jorginho gets injured, we don't have a special backup. Right now, Declan Rice is doing an amazing job. And when Thomas is on the field, what I would like to see is to have him behind Rice and Odegaard. And we know how that team is going to play. Every single player is going to improve. Is going to improve. I'm sorry, as long as he play as a midfielder. I hope that if he gets recovered, that we don't use it as a right back again. I think that the experiment ended. Arteta knew that it wasn't working, even though the results were positive, but it didn't work. It didn't work. I think that this is his last chance. I'm gonna be honest. This is like his
Back.
only last chance. So Jonathan, I know what you're gonna say, but let's give him the chance in case that he recovers properly. The same with Tomiyasu. Now he never got injured before he joined us. He does, and now he's cursed. He's cursed. We are cursed because the very special player on every single season, the player that we need the most is the one that gets injured. That's something that is happening from the Emirates era. As soon as we change
Yeah,
the stadium,
yeah.
that comes with the new stadium. Okay, you want a new stadium? You want to build a new team? Okay, let's take the best player to to have it injured. It's unfortunate, but he is going to be crucial for us this season. If he's fit, I will allow him to stay the remaining season because I know that we will improve and we can even win the league with him on
Mm.
our side.
Lee,
Remember, just a comment. Remember
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we bought the Emirates over a Saxon graveyard. Remember that.
yeah,
Remember that.
yeah.
Sorry.
Lee, Lee, we did a poll on the platform
yeah.
about Thomas Partey, whether he's going to play a major role in the season. And I kid you not, I've just checked now. 50% have said yes,
Yeah.
and 50% say no. What's your
Yeah.
thoughts, Thomas Partey?
Well, I mean, that sums it up. I mean, it's interesting from got both good points from Jonathan and Aldrich there. Listen to both of them, both making excellent points. For me, I agree with Aldrich. I think it's an absolute no-brainer that we keep him. For 2/3 of last season, he was by far and away our best player. He was unbelievable. And the one thing he does that I can't see one player on that team, he keeps the ball in midfield, right? Declan keeps the ball, he moves forward and he gives the easy pass. There were games last year, I think the away game at Fulham sticks in the memory. Partey was unbelievable. He was winning the ball, knocking it, flicking it over people, knocking it left, knocking it right, keeping the ball. And we would, tomorrow at Anfield, right, we need that type of player to keep hold of the ball and spray it around. In terms of selling, I just think for a club like Arsenal, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter here nor there whether we we don't need to worry about his wages or whether we're going to get a fee. It's irrelevant. What matters is, and I know it's an if he's fit, right? He's in our top three players for me. Arguably in the top two, right? I just think he's an unbelievable footballer. And yeah, Jonathan will say, well, Lee, that's no good if he isn't fit. But we've got to roll the dice, right? He's been coming back from injury. If he plays in the AFCON and he comes back, in February, he can help us win the league, right? And the other good point Aldrich made, injury to Declan Rice for 6 weeks, we'll be dead in the water, right? And if Partey's back and playing, again, he's arguably one of our best, amazing footballer. And as I say, he just strolls around that pitch, flicking it left and right. I just think there's no point in what are we going to get for him? 20 million, get his wages off the book, so what? Doesn't matter. For a club like Arsenal, we haven't won the league for 20 years, guys. We absolutely, we have to gamble. We have to get him fit. If we don't, we don't. But just say we get him back playing. He comes back in the new year and he's fantastic. What a player to have. And as I think Eldrick said, sitting behind the two in midfield, right? Fantastic, because at some stage Declan Rice is going to get a knock, and there where we're going to be. So it's an absolute no-brainer for me. I'm definitely with 100% with Eldrick. Well, I understand Jonathan's points.
Yeah, but definitely not at right back, an inverted right back, Lee.
Not. I think Arteta had been out like on probably drinking too much in the summer, and he come back and I think he got confused because everybody was standing at the Emirates going, I don't get it. Well, why is it? He's not a right back. You could see that. He's
Timber.
kind of whatever. He was vulnerable. I mean, against Fulham, wasn't it, at home?
Yeah.
I think I was about 5 minutes late for that game, but he's just not a right back, not in a million years. Terrible idea.
Timber, Justin Timber. He's coming. He's coming.
Yeah.
Same with Tomiyasu.
Yeah. John Guna, Thomas Partey, is he going to play a major role before the season's out?
I hope so, mate. Like Lee says, I think last 2 seasons,
Justin,
not so much this season, last couple of seasons, I thought he was our best player, to be quite honest. I loved him. He was brilliant. But it's the injuries all the time, isn't it? And the AFCON. But there's no way we should be selling him. We need every squad player we can get and more at the minute. So, personally, I love watching Partey. He's on the ball. He's class. You know what I mean? Off it, defending, maybe not so good, but yeah, he's one of our best players. But sadly, he's just not getting enough games, isn't he? He's just. I don't know what his stats are with games. How many has he played this season? Same as last season. Do you know what I mean? And when push come to shove, he weren't about for the big games last season. I think that cost us. You know what I mean? If I remember rightly, towards the end of the season, he weren't available. He was injured, and there's no one that can replace him. I think Rice is on his sort of level, but on his day, I'd say Partey is better. But it's getting him on his day, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Getting him fit again. That's always the problem. But there's no way I would sell him. No way. But if Arsenal are going to make a few quid and sell him to Saudi, they probably will, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
You're right. Good point, John.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was surprised he still stayed there. To be quite honest, they get mentioning Saudi, but I'm glad. I'm glad. Like Lee says, what's 20 million these days? To us, it's a lot. To them,
it's a lot of money.
Money, isn't it? You know,
you're right.
It's silly.
Totally.
Yeah. Excuse me, I have a question for you or whoever who wants answer. For me, if Partey came back from his injury and goes because it's a must or whatever, and go to the AFC Con, I don't. For me, that doesn't make sense. It is acceptable for you that he does this thing because the club has supported him a lot and he is coming fit because the club just forgo to play the AFC Con and risk with another injury because that is the main matter here.
Aldrich want to answer that.
Yeah, for sure. What I think about it is that I don't see it that bad because we need him fit. We need him to be in shape for the Premier League. So that's the
Game
best
time.
way for us to know if he's gonna be available for us. Now, if he's fully recovered, he is like the main guy in Ghana. He is the main player that the country has. So it's going to be like the same in case. I'm going to give you an example with Martin Odegaard. He's the captain of his national team. He is injured, he recovers, and there is an Euro. If we want to make sure that that he's gonna be fit, we need him to play a bit. We know that, and I know that the Arsenal board speaks with the Ghana Association, and they're gonna make an arrangement. Of course, they're not gonna force him to play 90 minutes. They're not gonna force him to play all the matches. So it's better for us that he goes and start to play with the ball, who starts feeling fine with the balls in his feet. So once he's come back after the AFCON, I hope that they get that they lose in the group stage. So once he comes back, that he's gonna be totally fit for us. Arteta doesn't have to think is he needs to recover. He doesn't need to think that he needs more game time because remember that in case that he recovers, it doesn't mean that he's going to play with the first team immediately. Sometimes they play with the with the under 23, with the under 20s. So it's gonna be like that. You have to see it like that. It's like a recovery stage that he's fit, and we're gonna see exactly what we're gonna get from Partey on the remaining
It's a good.
season.
I see it the same. It's a good thing, isn't it? Because it's like it just gives him some game time to sharpen up. You can't put him in. You can't stick him in against Liverpool tomorrow because he's fit. Because it could go disastrously wrong. So just bring him back gently. So I agree. Again, with Aldridge, it just 2 or 3 games, 60 minutes, 70 minutes, and then he's ready for Arsenal. Start February whenever it finishes. Perfect.
But Lee, why can't we put him into some of the under 21 games rather than send him to the AFCON, where there's a bigger he might get injured?
For what I said, he's the main player of his country. We cannot. Well, the same like in case that it is Harry Kane. Like if Harry Kane gets injured and he recovers before an international duty, they will call him for sure because he's the main guy of the national team.
But
Partey,
that's from their point of view, though. But sorry, Mr. Cadam Fodder, I've forgotten your first name.
Mr. Cannon Fodder. No, Alex.
Mr. I'm going to call you Mr. Alex Cannon.
All right, go for it.
So Alex, your point is spot on. I mean, as Aldridge was saying, they may want him, but so what?
Exactly.
Ideally, we want to protect him. So, Alex, I kind of agree with you. In an ideal world, we want to protect him. You wouldn't want him in a competitive game getting injured. But the counter to that is we're being really picky, aren't we? Ideally, with a couple of games with the under-21s and then maybe some competitive games in AFCON. I think that would work perfectly. But if it's one or the other, selfishly, I'd probably say playing the under-21s. But he's probably in his contract, it will probably say he has to go. If his club, if his international team want him, he has to go, and the player can go. I believe that's how it works. I could be wrong.
But Lee, if it was Fergie, Man United back in the day,
no chance.
Exactly.
Ferguson would say he's still carrying a knock. He's not playing, and they'd be playing games behind closed doors. He wouldn't be going anywhere. Because back in 2006, Ferguson actively tried to stop Rooney going to the World Cup in Germany, even though Rooney was fit, and Ferguson was saying no, he's not going on the plane. It was only because Rooney was so determined. He got on the plane and got out to that world because he'd done his metatarsal within 6 weeks before the 2006 World Cup. So I agree with you, Alex. Not a chance. He wouldn't risk it. But
Aldrich, sorry, you want to say something?
That's right. Well, fortunately, I think that this was like the best time for him to recover. Again, we need that card to roll. We know how important he is when he's on the team. So I give the green light for him to go and play, to feel better, to get used to the game again, to feel that intensity. So once he's back on the Premier League, he's gonna be 100%.
I agree
for us.
John, where do you lie in this? Would you send him out to the AFCON, or would you keep him? Do a Fergie?
No, I wouldn't send him, mate. I wouldn't allow. I'd do a Fergie, man. I'd do a Fergie. But like Lee says, he's probably contracted, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think any time he's gone out there, I think he's gone and got injured. I don't actually trust their medical team. I don't think they're as straight as that one. You know what I mean? They don't care. They will play him if he's injured. I think Arsenal might rest him. So I can see the point of giving him the game time. I can definitely see that. Keep him fresh, keep him ticking over. But to them it ain't a friendly. It's a proper. It's like their little World Cup, isn't it? It's not little, it's big to them. Do you know what I mean? So they want him playing. He's their main player, and the risk that comes with that is he will get injured. But to be honest, if I was out there, no, I wouldn't have that. But I suppose he's got no choice. I mean, going back to Fergie, Ryan Giggs, how many games did he play for Wales? I think he missed. He'd have probably doubled his caps if Fergie let him. Do you know what I mean? And that was just Wales. But being selfish, nah, I won't let him play him in the under 21s. But then again, he probably wants to go himself as a professional. His country probably wants to go, doesn't he? So you know what I mean. But is he fit? Is he actually fit? I don't know the status of him at the moment.
Getting close.
I'm rooting from Egypt.
Close to it,
I hope that Egypt gets to the final.
Definitely.
I'm rooting 100% with Egypt on that
Is that where
it is? Good question, Jonathan. Very, very good question. Let's go into the live chat before we continue with the next topic. And we've got John the Geezer Gunner, who says, all I want for Christmas is Tony. We're going to
get him there. Get him. Bring him down, man.
And our moderator for the show, ever present, is Ashley D, who says, hey up, Gunners, and hey up to you as well, Ashley. Evelyn Emerson, who says, good evening, Alex, and the panel. Happy Christmas to all of your subscribers, and have a great 2024. And breaking news that Rodri of Man City has a knee injury, so keep eye on the next few days. A bit of breaking news there. Oh my goodness!
Don't like to hear that. Don't like to hear that.
No, it's a shame, isn't it? What shame?
Got it. Sick now.
Right, and Jonah Aldrich, friend of yours.
It's a Aldrich friend.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought so.
But he's
Uh,
mentioning you, Jonathan. Maybe he's from the
No,
Costa
yeah,
Rican
wait,
group.
wait for you. Wait for you.
yeah.
Colombia.
No, no, no.
Colombia.
Yeah. So, hello from Miami. Arriba la comunidad. Yeah. Hey, the community of Colombia. Well, who else do we have here? Beck
Uh,
Lo
Yeah.
Mamo. And we have some love hearts here, I think, for John, or maybe it's for Lee, I'm not sure. We've got some more stuff here. Who's here? And we've got the Colombian Guna. Amazing
Come
job,
on, you
Colombian
guys.
Gunners. Thank you for that. Greetings from Colombia, the Colombian Guna, always supporting this beautiful team. And maybe just one more before we go into the next topic. I believe Thomas can be fit for the next games, not 100%, but he will be really helpful. At least we can find another option. Another option like who? But we've got Declan Rice. Is there another option?
Suizamendi.
Oh, okay. Good shout actually. For the team, very new to keep in mind. Even he can do. I'm not sure. Not very new. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he's saying there. Last one here. We go on from Emerson. This is according to Arteta press conference this morning. He said that Partey is on last part of his rehabilitation, and we'll pick him after some training sessions at the training ground. And as for the Afcon, not really sure. Now we have a game tomorrow against one of the old enemies. 89, 89.
No,
One
no, it's
minute.
fine.
1 minute.
One, mi-
1 minute
1 minute, man.
against Liverpool. Now I remember last season. If Granit Xhaka, I'm not blaming him for because we drew with them, didn't we? After we went
Yeah.
up 2-0 very very quickly, but he kind of ignited a bit of a rebirth during the game. Um, Jonathan, I'm going to go to you. Previewing the game for tomorrow, man. Liverpool versus Arsenal.
Yesterday, one of my friends woke up early and turned on the TV, and it was fair pitch on the TV. So, so, so I told him that is a sign. That is a sign. That is a sign. Wait, that is a sign. There is a
Let's hope
sign.
so.
It's not normal to see. It's not normal to watch a favorite pitch in the Colombian TV. It's not something that is regular or in the cable TV. And when he wake up, he sent the message very early, like, with a picture of, you can't believe this. And I believe in the sign. I believe in the energy. So I think they have to be scared because they are in Anfield. They are the owner of the home, and we are coming for them. I think the people who has to be scared is the Liverpool players, no
Correct.
Arsenal players,
Correct.
because we are going
100%.
to play on
100.
Anfield, and we are in the momentum, and we are with
Yeah.
Rice,
Yeah.
and we have Saliba, another
Yeah.
Benzema.
Saliba.
So, so
Arriba.
I think they have
Saliba.
to be there, and
Du.
the, the best thing that we can do in this moment is to be humble. I know, but the players has to believe on their selves, and the player has to understand that the pressure is on Liverpool, not on Arsenal. Why? Because it's Anfield.
Yeah.
We need it. We need it. We need the
Yeah,
players.
yeah.
Yeah.
Aldrich, for you tomorrow,
For
Liverpool.
Just,
well,
just a comment, Beck. Just a comment. Just a comment. Just a comment. Sorry, sorry. It's Partey. It's just to finish the thing. We need the players like Partey in this moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Fortunately, we have Rice. Unfortunately, I know he is the main player of the season. So we have something that we didn't have in the last year, and it's Rice. So I
Yeah.
think
Good point.
he is the key point on this game.
Yeah.
Rice.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Good point.
no, no. That was a perfect point, and I totally agree with you. Tomorrow we're gonna have the first final of the season if we are aspiring to win the Premier League. They are direct rivals. We know that we're gonna fight against them and Manchester City for the Premier League, and they have to be 110% focus on this game. We cannot make the same mistakes that we did the last game. We have to be, since the minute zero from the 98, focus on that game, because Anfield is one of the toughest, if not for me personally, like the toughest visit of all the stadiums that we're going to play. But we have to keep the momentum. Right now we're leaders. We have to get strength with that, and I hope that the players that are going to be there, that they do their best. We need a better Odegaard. We need another guard like the start of this season. I don't know, these past games, I have seen him like with less stamina, if I can say it like that, because he is a player that loves to come for the rebound. He's always at the penalty spot looking for that goal, looking for the goal. And if you see on the last games, instead of shooting hard, that is something that he loves to do, he's been making passes. He hasn't shot properly. So we need to be. I, I I heard Thierry Henry saying something a couple of weeks ago, that the only thing that we're missing is that we need to kill the teams. We
Yeah.
need to go in there and
Yeah.
take our chances. And if we are able to score 4 goals, let's score 5. We don't have to give them air for anything. So I think that is going to be the key. If we are going to be on attack and we are going to be more precise with the opportunities that we're gonna have in front of Allison, the game is gonna be perfect for us. Liverpool is doing well, but they are not the Liverpool of a couple years ago. It's not the same Liverpool. That Liverpool used to scare us, and when we were playing, we saw an Arsenal that was scared. That is not the case at this time. So they need to believe in themselves, and I hope that we're going to win that game. I think that I I won't say that it's gonna be a clean sheet, but I think that we can win at least 3-1 if we
Ooh,
play focus on that game.
yeah.
On what I'm seeing, and in because I believe on what I'm seeing, I think that if we are effective on the attack, it's gonna be a 3-0. Sorry, 3-1.
Yeah. I was just checking to see when was the last time we scored 5 goals. It was back in 2019 in the League Cup.
That's right. That's right. We
Five,
need we
five,
need
Yeah.
to
five.
have that killer instinct at its best, because if you see all the games during this season, we are the ones who controls the ball. We are the ones who get more on the opposite side, but we do not concrete those attacking options. That's the only thing. I think that would be like the missing piece for us to be a real killers. We don't have to give them any air to our opponents.
Lee.
Yeah. Oh, great points. I mean, for me, I'm gonna say one of the few Spanish words that I know, right, Jonathan? Cojones. It's about the cojones tomorrow, right? It's about the cojones, and it's about being cool as well, right? Because they are great. The atmosphere is fantastic. We know during the documentary last year, Arteta had the speakers at the training ground playing "You'll Never Walk Alone." So
Yeah.
and I get all that, right? I mean, I've not played at Anfield, but uh, it's kind of, you can't get carried away with all that. You have to worry about your own performance, right? As the guys have said, we're good enough to go there and win. Taking chances, what we haven't been doing. We've needed like 5 or 6 chances to score a goal. We've got to be clinical, like we were last year. We raced to a 2-0 lead, and then unfortunately, as you said, the Xhaka thing got the crowd going, but that's when the cojones kicks in, right? So I felt that Odegaard went missing, right? So maybe his cojones needed to be a bit bigger for this game tomorrow, because he did. I suppose games at Anfield can pass you by. I think that's what Arteta said. The game just passed him by. I think he said in the documentary. So maybe this is Odegaard's moment in a big game, right? In a big game, where it would be nice for their party to keep the ball and to keep it calm. Odegaard needs to get hold of the ball and stay in the game. I just felt like he just disappeared. He disappeared into his shirt, without being too critical in that away game. Like, it wasn't just him, to be fair. It was a few players, and we just looked. Obviously, Zinni at left back looked really vulnerable in that game. So it's a slight worry that we haven't to be honest, I think Tommy would have played tomorrow. And we just need
Yeah.
we need to be solid. We need to be cool. You know, we need to not worry about you'll never walk alone in the atmosphere. And look at what Real Madrid did to Liverpool a couple of seasons ago. I think they raced into a 4-0 lead. They destroyed them, I think, from memory. So worry about your own performance. Don't get too hyped up and worried about the atmosphere and Klopp and the fans. Just, I know it's easier said than done, guys, isn't it? It's really easy for me to sit here and say, well, don't worry about it. It's
Yes.
fine. But focus on your own performance. Do your job. Stand up. Even when it, because at some point the tide will turn and we'll be under a lot of pressure. And that's the moment that wins league. That's the moment that Alex will tell you. 20 years ago, and we won leagues. We had players like Perez and Ashley Cole who did have big cojones and would stand up and get us over the line. And sorry, excuse me, there's a I'm about to be arrested. No, they're Spurs fans, I think, coming in the ambulance. But no,
bad boys. What are you gonna do?
but my last important point, I'll stop babbling on. Tomorrow isn't about. We're not going to win or lose the league tomorrow. It is only 3 points. Of course, it is the psychological thing which makes it important. If we get out, if we draw, to win would be fantastic. But the league won't be won or lost tomorrow. But I just think we need a big performance. We need a kind of performance that we got from, as Alex was saying, 2004. So some of them players, we turn up at Anfield and we play them off the park, right? Yeah. Whether it's the cup game with Henry or the Perez goal, players really coming to the fore, and that's what we need. I haven't seen that too many times. We've been consistent the last 2 years, and we've definitely kicked on. But I've not seen that many games. We've gone to a big stadium, right, and we've just swept them away, right. If anyone else can remind me of a game where we've done that, probably Spurs away, but I won't classify Spurs.
Maybe Chelsea.
Big test.
But yeah.
Maybe Chelsea. But yeah, it's really all for me. It's about Liverpool. Always about Liverpool away, as the guys have said. Man United away. City away, right? And until we go and sweep them aside, one of those clubs or two of those clubs in the season, can you really call yourself at the level, right? So that's what I'm looking for tomorrow. A real statement. If it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world. But it's going to take the big players to stand up. Your Odegaard, Rice. We've got no worries about Rice, have we? We know he will stand up. But there's other members of the team, I think, that just needs to hit the level tomorrow for us to go over the line.
But you know what, Lee, you bring up a good point. Actually, we're talking about the players, but even the manager needs to be cool, calm, and collective. Because I remember 2 seasons ago that he got kind of caught up in some kind of fracas with Klopp on the sidelines. Yeah. Just keep the cool. Move. Yeah, just focus on what we have to do. Forget about them. Yeah. Just keep it cool, calm, and collective. You don't want to give them any opportunity to rile them up. You know what
ammunition.
I mean?
No, exactly, Alex. And they kicked on but he's a young man. What is he, 40 years of age, 41? So he's going to learn. He'll think to himself, right, I'm not going to do that again because I'm just going to keep it cool. Because if you're a player and you see your manager losing it, you're thinking, shit, we kind of, I think that message transmits. To stay cool. Brian Clough used to sit there, very a long time ago. People think, what's he going on about Brian Clough? But you never see him going mad, and he produced some pretty good football teams.
Yeah. John Geezer, for you, game tomorrow. 89.
89. Do you know what? A bit like what Lee says, just don't lose. I think Liverpool should be fearing us. We've done everything right all season. I don't think we've actually kicked on. I don't think we've hit form. Maybe tomorrow is a time to hit form. We shouldn't be fearing. They should be full of confidence now. They should be. These are the games that they should be getting up in the morning, buzzing for, dying to get on that coach. Go, let's get straight into Liverpool because they ain't the Liverpool of old. They ain't going to say they're there for the taking because they ain't no mugs. On their day, they'll beat anyone. But I swear by the fact, on our day, when we hit form, we're going to hit anyone. We're going to beat anyone, Alex. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you can't go gung ho. That's crazy. Liverpool a bit clued up for all that, but I think we could beat them 2-0, Alex. I honestly do. Do you know what I mean? I think we can catch them on the back foot, as Lee says. We do have to prove that we can go into the one of the top four stadiums and batter them,
Mm.
basically. Do you know what I mean? So, and that will give them so much confidence if they do
Yeah.
it. Whether that happens,
Yeah.
I don't know. Just don't lose. That would be my thing.
Yeah.
If I was
Yeah. Don't lose the game.
Arteta,
Yeah.
I'd say, look, lads, we can't lose this game. This will just be making such a massive statement. But if we can beat them and finish top on 2023, everyone's
Yeah.
going to be fearing us. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
honestly,
Oh,
Alex, you know me. I said it at the beginning of the season. If with consistency and form, I don't beat anyone. I honestly,
yeah,
and
yeah.
the atmosphere and Arsenal away fans will outsing Liverpool tomorrow. You mark my words, they will. It's just they've got one song. You've only got one song. You've only got one song, and that's it. That's all they got.
Yeah.
The Arsenal boys have got loads. I think we beat them on the terraces, and I think we beat them on the stadium, Alex. 2-0. I'm
And in the
sticking by
Premier
that.
League as well. All right. All right. And the
Uh,
last.
Alex,
Go on, Jonathan. Go
Alex,
on, Jonathan. Yeah.
I have a question. Do you sign a draw?
Do I sign?
A draw. 1-1, 2-2.
Draw.
Goodness. I don't want to upset anyone. I
The
don't want
sign.
Oh no, Alex, you're not going to go for it. No.
I'm fearful,
Oh
because
no.
like you said, Lee, I've seen in some of the big games, and I don't want to just pinpoint that players, but Odegaard as a club captain in those big matches, you want our
Yeah.
best players to rise to the occasion,
Totally.
and he has gone missing on a few
Gone
occasions.
missing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I'm thinking, look how they dismantled West Ham the other day.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
also building up momentum. But don't ask me
Yeah.
for a prediction, man. Sorry, Jonathan. Man. sorry, sorry.
Sitting
Let's
on
go
the
to the last.
fence.
Yeah, big old fence.
Two
So the
one.
last
2-1
pick.
Arsenal tomorrow. 2-1
All right,
Alex for me.
okay. I think Arsenal's biggest challenge will be in the January transfer window. We've said, well, I've said for the longest time, that Arsenal do need an out-and-out striker, Aldric, guaranteed 20 odd plus goals per season. But unfortunately, I can't see it under this present manager, because he wants 3 or 4 players who can score and guarantee goals, not just one particular out-and-out striker. Now, John Leguizzi did say all he wants for Christmas is Tony. I'm a Tony.
Get him there, mate. Get him there. It gives me Ian Wright vibes. 20 goals last season. Just a nice player to have on the sidelines, isn't it? Getting back to Eddie now, right? Now, if he comes on the pitch, I don't think he's scored for 20 odd away games. And
Yeah.
to me, that ain't good enough, Alex. That's not good enough for a Premier League player, Premier League top 4 player, whatever. So
Yeah.
Tony will give you that extra option, If Eddie's coming on and it's 0-0, I'm a bit worried, because if he ain't scored in 20 away games, that's not a very good stat, Alex. As much as I like the fella, that's not good. So to me, they do need an out-and-out striker. But does Arteta want one? It's not the system, is it? He's playing a different system. You know what I mean? So get Tony. That's all I want for Christmas is you, Tony. Come on, son.
Jonathan, for you, striker. Do we need a striker who can guarantee us?
Look, the matter is that I still trust in Enketia. Not for what I see on the field, is what I see on the club. So, um, I always regret about Enketia, but it's okay. I will defend him. A night from Enketia. I think he is still young. I think we still can finish with him the season. However, we are playing a season where we can be champions. I don't see the possibility to get to the club someone who is able to bring a lot in January. Because what are the possibilities? Ivan Toney, Victor Rossingham, he is not a possibility, but Okay, let's see. Let's say he's a possibility. I don't know, whatever. But those kind of player is very it's almost impossible to to bring them on January. So in case they are not able to bring them in January, we have to take someone that maybe is at the level of Enketia. I read some comments about the Everton player who missed the penalty, another striker in another,
Yeah.
and I don't know who is in. I even know who is in. So if we are bringing someone who is not at Osingen or Tony level, I prefer to keep Enketia until June. And I don't think it's possible to bring someone on a top level. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense for you.
But Jonathan, forget about that. Let's just say I've given you 200 million pounds to spend in a January transfer window, and you have an option to buy a striker or a defensive midfielder or whatever. But the money is there. Do you believe that there is a necessity to have a striker? Bearing in mind that the way that Arsenal play doesn't command to have a striker, would you
Okay,
still
okay.
go out and buy that striker?
Okay, good question. Good question. I prefer. Good question.
Thank you. Thank you.
And oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I think the team is so perfect that we only need to upgrade some players. If he's Victor Osimhen, but he's a injury prone player. No, oh my God, no, no, no. I prefer to
No,
cover. No, I don't know. I don't know. Let's hear Aldrich and let me think what I
go,
will
go
say.
out, go out.
It's a good
No
question. It's a good
worries, no
question because
worries.
we have
It
Gabriel Jesus,
it
but
is a
Yeah.
great
also,
question, but
Let Aldrich explain. Go on, Aldrich.
the thing here is that we do need someone that is a game changer, and when I'm saying a game changer, I'm saying an striker who delivers goals, that we know that he's gonna get in and he's gonna create something. Let's go way back to the past. If we talk about the Arsenal of the early 2000s, you see that, well, we had Henry, but in case that Henry wasn't delivering, there was no Kanu waiting on the bench. There was Dennis Bergkamp also competing to for that striker position. Now your point is great. I also have faith in Eddie, but we need more competition up front. What happens with Eddie and what happens with Gabriel Jesus? They are so into the Arsenal style of play that they like to go outside the opponent's area. They are not like just staying on the area waiting for a goal, which is good because they also deliver. If you see the last Kai Havertz goals, the Eddie assist was great. He did the best over there. But we need someone that, if we know that he's gonna come in, he's going to bring something. He's going to cause any trouble to a goalkeeper or to any defender. Those 200 millions, I'm gonna be realistic. If we can get Ivan Tony, that would be perfect. He is a Premier League player. He knows how we play. He knows the opposite's way of playing. So that would be like the perfect fit for us. But now Victor Osimhen, I don't think that we're gonna sign him because he is with Napoli. He's playing Champions League. We also have to think in Champions League. So the main thing here is to try to be as lucky as we did on last January with Trossard. We have that player and we never expected the impact that he was
Mm.
going to have on the team. So that's what we're looking for. Even if it's an unknown name, as long as he delivers and he brings something different on the table, I mean, because that's what we need. We have a well prepared team. We have an instructor, an instructor midfielder. The defense is great, but we are lacking a bit of goals. I think that with a main striker there, that he can do the pivotal role, and also that he's going to make cause troubles to goalkeepers. That's where I put my pen in the paper and sign him right away. But that's what we need. We need to. It doesn't matter the position as long as he is a game changer. That's what we need.
You know, Aldrich,
Okay.
sometimes
I,
I think as a fan base, we get caught up in thinking, oh, if this player is not worth £100 million, he's not any good. Oh, if he's not worth £50 million, he's not any good. If the player can produce, whether it's a defensive midfielder or a striker, surely we should be able to get that player in. Lee, we've just been talking about the transfer window, January.
Brilliant. Yeah, sorry guys, just running out of power there. Temporarily out of juice. Back on now. Yeah, I think Eldridge's point. We do need that killer goal scorer, right? It's great that we got the front three all contribute, don't they? Which is brilliant. But you just need that. What you need is that Ian Wright type of character where you get one chance, one goal in the back. We just haven't got that. Eddie's never going to be it, unfortunately. We want to move to the next level. Winning European Cups and European Cups, Champions Leagues, and Premier Leagues. Eddie's not good enough. It just isn't, because you need a lethal striker. Whether that's Tony or the guy from Napoli who looks fantastic. But you need that. Going back in the day, Ian Wright, one chance, one goal, where it's a scrappy game. It's heading for a draw, and then suddenly Wright used to get one chance back of the net. We desperately need that, especially in a club like ours. I sat there last week against Brighton, and we must have had God knows how many chances, and we just don't have anyone who's cool, calm, and collected. Havertz, great finish at the end, but so that's what we need in January. Ideally, it'd be difficult to get him. Just depends, doesn't it? We don't know what's going on with Tony and Brentford. If we can put in a decent enough bid, maybe we can get him. Not guy from Napoli, I'm not sure. I know he's a great player. I'm not sure what his situation is, but we definitely need that killer, like Salah. You know when Salah's going through, guys, 1-on-1. What's happening? When Mo Salah goes through, you know it's in the back of the net. It's a foregone conclusion. Unfortunately, if it's Havertz going through 1-on-1, not so sure. Eddie, definitely not sure. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot. You just don't know. Eddie's a decent player, and he's got a good heart, and he's Arsenal through and through. He's been there since he was a kid. But he's.
But what about Jesus? What about Jesus? Gabriel Jesus?
He's not. He does the odd. There's a difference. He does the odd calm finish where he just switches the ball, drops his shoulder, and he just places it like he did the other week. I can't remember against which team, but he doesn't do it consistently, which is why Pep let him go. Right? You've got to be ruthless, and Jesus isn't ruthless. He's 12 to 14 goals tops. Unfortunately, we had a front three that were all chipping in. 12 to 14 goals last season adds up to 40 plus goals. So that's getting you close, right? But to have someone who's guaranteed, Mo Salah, 25, 30 goals on the table every season, right? And that would be fantastic. I'm not saying we can't win it without that, but that would make us a surefire bet to do it, as Alex and John will remember back in the early 90s. When we signed Wrighty, I was thinking, do we really need Wright? We've got Campbell, we've got Merson, we've got Smith. We don't really need Ian Wright. And then suddenly Ian Wright was winning his games. Well, it would have been a draw. So it does make a massive difference. So I don't know whether we can play over the odds. We must be getting quite close in the financial fair play stakes. We might have to get a few players out the door. Might have to sell, exactly. But it could be. It does remind me of '91. We just won the league. And it's just great to bring that player in when you're doing well and on top. And Alex said, John, I tell you, Ferguson done it year after year. When we were top, doing well, he didn't buy players when they were. He built when they were strong. He made them stronger. So we have to find a way, whether it's selling players, to do that. Hopefully, I'd take Tony. I would definitely take Tony. I don't think he's top, but he's up there. He's an improvement on what we got.
Do you think Arteta will look to buy Tony in the transfer window?
I think he will. I mean, obviously can't support him, but I think why not? I can't think of anyone else. If anyone else can throw another player out there, but for me, he makes things happen. Like again, going back to Wrighty, Wrighty used to make things happen on his own, as well as be able to do the tap-ins in the 6-yard box and get in front of the last defender at the near post. We haven't got anyone. I mean, I sat there last week and twice the ball flew across the 6-yard box from crosses from Martinelli and Saka. And we never had a player in the 6-yard box, and the great strikers, whether it's going back years, Gerd Muller, Gary Lineker, they're in there for the tap-ins, like vultures, like Emilio Butragueño at Real Madrid, the vulture. We need a vulture. At the moment, they're not roofed. The ball it's a great cross. Martinelli skins the full-back and the ball sails across the 6-yard box, goes out for a throw-in.
Yeah. Jonathan, are you ready to answer my question now?
I have it. Thank you so much for being so clear. The answer is yes. Ivan Toney, yes. I will do an exchange. Take Nketiah and 60 million for Ivan Toney, because 100 million I think is requesting Brentford for Ivan Toney is what I hear. For me, it's too much. Too much for someone who has not played the last 6 months. Too much for it's a big gamble. So I think it's not so gamble if we can put 60 million and Nketiah. Nketiah is a decent player. He's a decent player, but if we want to be in the next level, I think he needs more time, and we don't have time to give him. We don't have more time to give him, because I know he will be a top player. He's a great player, but we don't have time to wait for him to explode. Maybe West Ham, maybe Brentford, but we need something now. So yes, Ivan Toney, Nketiah, and 60 million for him.
Wow. Okay. Let's go back into the live chat for the last time before we wrap up this show. The hour's gone very, very quick, to be honest. Emerson says, I see a repeat of last season, and Klopp wants their fans to be up there for it. And if we can get a good start, I see that we can control the game, and Liverpool will have the same game plan, Lee. The same game plan, Lee.
Alex, there is a point from Emerson. Hey, Emerson, I knew him in London. There's a point from Emerson. Klopp did something I think will be a problem. Klopp put the pressure over the Liverpool fans. He told them, hey, if you cannot support us the big as you can, you need to give your ticket to another one. I think that pressure will be playing very bad, because once we make a goal, I think it could be a big problem for the atmosphere. And the energy is everything on the field. In 90 minutes, the more important.
He's just playing mind games, Jonathan. He's playing mind games.
Yeah, it's
just,
part
but
of it.
I think it's a
But if we
pressure.
score 2, that will play against them.
I think it's a pressure, a pressure over the fans, a big pressure over the fans. I think it could help. It could play very bad for them, but let's see.
Okay.
But it's a pressure. It's a pressure.
Lee, what do you think? Is it mind games, or is it putting pressure on the fans to?
I think he's basically, for me, he's trying to G the fans up for the Arsenal Liverpool. He knows how crucial that game is, right? He knows it's a crucial game, so he's just trying to ramp it up. It's like when the players walk around, they kind of do this, trying to get the crowd up. That's what Klopp's doing. He wants it. He wants it to be 2 or 3 levels up what it normally is, and as we all know, it can be an unbelievable atmosphere. But he wants it to be a cauldron for Arsenal, because it's such a big game psychologically. Again, I say it's not going to decide the league. The game it won't. But we really don't want to, as John said, we don't really want to be leaving there tomorrow losing that game. I think it'll just throw up so many questions. Oh, they can't handle it, Arsenal. They're bottle jobs and all that other nonsense that we hear. So I think we need to prove it to ourselves. But I just think he's just trying to wind the crowd up to make it ferocious.
Yeah. Mohammed says, good evening. He goes on to say, why did Arsenal sell Florent Balogun, John?
Good question, mate.
Good question. No idea.
Another player I would have kept, you know what I mean? But I don't know how he's getting on at the moment. But I like to see these young youth players stay, mate. I really don't know why he went.
No.
I would have definitely kept him. Do you know what I mean? You could argue he may be better than Tony, couldn't you? Do you know? He might have more experience. I've not followed what he's doing abroad, but he's definitely a player I would have loved to keep Alex, but
Yeah.
Arteta's got his own mind, isn't he, mate?
Yeah.
I will
Emma,
have give him minutes to Balogun, but if you remember on preseason, he missed a chance with the goalkeeper. I think that was his burial with the team because it was in talk if he was going to stay or not. But during preseason, I don't think that he wanted to stay that much because you see that hungry in a player's face when they are playing when they try to score. He missed that, and you saw a normal face. You didn't see like that reaction of someone who wanted to do something extra. We sold him for a good amount of money. I don't know. Well, not it's valuable because he did a good season on Ligue 1. That's why Monaco played that amount. But I think that he was like lacking of fire or lacking of hunger to try to stay on the first team. And he saw that he had Eddie and Gabriel Jesus in front of him. He didn't want to fight for his spot. I think that we did the right call by selling him under that amount because if we kept him and he was going to be like Eddie, that he was going to play some minutes and not having like enough chance to prove himself, we will have sell him at least for half of what we did.
Emerson says Osimhen is on the verge of signing a new contract apparently, and Tony is the only we can go for, but the fee is a stumbling block. Yeah, I mean, I think Brentford have made a statement by putting that price tag on him. I don't think they really want to sell him. And there's another one here. What's the last one here we have from? Oh, the Assembled. Good evening, Assembled. Says season's greetings to everyone. And Osimhen is another Jesus. We need a big man. Is he? I think the stumbling block with Osimhen would be maybe 120 million pounds, 150 million.
That's a stumbling block.
No.
I think
Tony's.
Sorry, Alex. I think whatever you say about Tony, it is a bit of a gamble, but sometimes in life you've got to take a gamble or get over the edge. You know what I mean? And it ain't like they're short of money. I think they've got to go for it. The last couple of seasons, they've not bought no one in January that's a real impact player, and it's cost them. You know, it cost them last season, cost them the season before. So personally, I think they should go for it. You know, whether they will, I don't know.
I agree, John.
Yeah. Well, listen. Before we wrap up this last Easy Talk before Christmas and New Year, and I know Lee, it's your debut on Canon 40 TV, but I want to get your opinion on a player that divided the fan base when he came from Chelsea. Kai Havertz. What's your thoughts about Kai Havertz?
Wow, I'm glad you asked me that, Alex, because I've got. John will tell you. I couldn't believe it. I think I said to John, another friend of mine, it was the most, shocking, but I couldn't see it coming. I couldn't see why we sold him. I've got mates of Chelsea fans who said for the last 2 years he couldn't hit a cow's backside with a banjo in front of goal. And what does he do? He doesn't score with his head. He can't tackle. He can't do this. He can't do that. So to make a big sign like we did, 65 million. I was just couldn't believe it. It was jaw dropping. And the first 2 or 3 months going over the Emirates, I'm still thinking I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing anything. What is he doing? He's in the team, straight in there, no messing around. And it's good. Arsenal fans that were supporting him on social media. I was watching. I'm watching him in the game, waiting to see something. There must be a reason Arteta signed him. And I still couldn't see it. And then on social media, people were saying Havertz is getting better. He was more involved today. Some good runs, and I'm thinking I must be watching another player. He makes good runs off the ball, right? But what people have got to realise for that kind of money, I want more from a player, right? I want a Bobby Perez, right? I want that kind of impact player, not someone who's making just good runs off a ball. You need a lot more than that. So for me, and he's done well the last month. He scored a couple of goals that have been put on the plate for him. The Luton one, and I think the one in Europe. and he scored a great goal last week. So there's definitely green shoots of improvements, but he's a mystery to me. Maybe in 3 months people say, "Oh look, you idiot, you fool, Lee. You think you know football?" And here he is scoring goals, and he's a mainstay of our team. But if you held a gun to my head now and said, "Is he going to make it big for Arsenal?" I'd say no. I would. I just can't see it. For me, he's not. He's not. Again, we're comparing their levels, aren't we? We want to get to where Real Madrid and Liverpool are at, and if Havertz said, I don't think so. I'd love to be wrong. I really want to be wrong. I really want to be wrong, but no, I can't say
Well,
it.
well, okay.
So
Jonathan,
I'm not sitting on the fence there, Alex. Sorry.
cheers, Lee. Jonathan, did you want to say anything in response to that? Do you want to say anything? Does anyone want to say anything in support of Kai Havertz?
I would like to mention two things. The first thing is that we have some meetings tomorrow to watch the game in Latam, City of Mexico. We have meeting in Honduras. We have meeting in Paraguay, in Asunción. We have meeting in San Jose, in Costa Rica. We have 5 meetings in Colombia, Bogotá, Bucaramanga, Medellín, Cartagena, and Barranquilla. So let's watch the game with other gunners in your city in Latam. There are a lot of supporters club, official supporters club that we are. You are not alone. You don't need to suffer in the Anfield tomorrow alone. So let's you're not alone in this. So
You
let's
are
looking
not
for
alone.
in Twitter in you're never welcome. Oh my god. And let's see Instagram, Twitter, looking for your Arsenal supporters club in your country in Latam, and let's looking for tomorrow a good meeting prior holidays. It's a great atmosphere. And the second thing regarding Kai Havertz, oh man, I don't. You always know that I never liked the players coming from Chelsea. I don't like that anymore.
Me
The last
neither.
player,
Yeah,
Never.
that doesn't
uh,
help. That don't help.
yeah,
We've got bad experience
and
with Chelsea players. That's a problem.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
but one of the worst stage because he put Ospina in the bench, but it's okay. And then lost the the UEFA Europe League. He lost that, and then he went to work with Chelsea. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But okay, Kai Havertz, a player that has received a lot of hate, and every player who has this badge has to be respected, and he's demonstrating the good what he can give, and most of them we need to trust more Arteta. If Arteta choose him is because of something, maybe he's demonstrating why. And nothing that bad lot from the players who are playing with this shirt, and nothing bad lot for Kai Havertz. I am really happy that he is closing some haters
Okay.
mouths.
Mouths.
I love
All right.
it. I
65
love it.
million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores a guy.
Waka
Yeah.
waka.
What a
Hey,
guy.
But I agree with Jonathan. Well, for me personally, he was receiving a lot of attacks during the beginning of the season. But as Jonathan mentioned, we already signed him. There's nothing we can do, even if he comes for Chelsea or if there are future players that comes from Chelsea. As soon as they are wearing this badge, we have to be with them 100%.
Mm.
Sometimes and I'm seeing that a lot in the Arsenal fan base worldwide, liking when they don't like a player, they are against him or they want them to play bad so they can be benched. But if they are playing bad, the team is gonna be bad. Now, if you remember, Henry didn't fit into the team straight away. That's the best case that I can say. Before his goal against Southampton, he was doing average, and even the people started messing up with him. So I think that this is a wake up call because Kai Havertz now is showing what he can bring to the table, and we have to take advantage of it. He is technically he is so gifted with that. I remember seeing him with Bayer Leverkusen, and he is a technically gifted player. he is also with a good position on the field. So if you saw at the beginning of the season, he missed a bunch of chances at the beginning, but he was in the right place. He was moving into that specific place, and that's what he's doing right now. He's doing the same now that he's being more effective. Now, I hope and I wish that he keeps going on that form, because that's the Kai Havertz that we need. We didn't even see that Kai Havertz at Chelsea. Right now we are seeing the Kai Havertz from Bayer Leverkusen. That's the one that we have to keep
Yeah,
supporting.
yeah,
And I think that he's gonna be a good asset. We have to keep in mind that he can play on different positions on the midfield and also at the wings. So that's an advantage for us. So he can alternate positions with Martinelli, with Jesus and Saka. And that's part of the Arsenal way. If you see all of our players, they are not staying on their specific positions. They are constantly changing positions. So I think that he's gonna be even better with the time. We need to be patient, because even if we do a couple of bad games, we don't have to be against him. We just need to support him and every single player that is gonna be on the starting 11 in the upcoming games.
okay. John, do you want to say something before we wrap up the show?
I've
Kai
always backed him, Alex, on the pure thing that he scored a goal in the Champions League and Arteta's picked him. I will agree with Lee. I'm still not quite sure what he's bringing to the team, but you get players like that. He was targeted at the beginning of the season, and that was out of order. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's social media or what caused all that, but yeah, that was a bit out of order. But also, Arteta took a big gamble with him, putting him straight in the team. Do you know what I mean? And it's working now. I wouldn't say it wouldn't work. And people were saying, what's he doing? He weren't really doing nothing wrong. People expected him to score like 10 goals a game or something. I'm not sure, but that's not his game. I think he's turned the corner now. That penalty, when the players give him that penalty to take, that was class. You know what I mean? That was a touch of class. That was more than football. That gave him a lot of confidence. And he feels loved. I think Chelsea ruined him. I think whatever was going on at Chelsea, they just totally destroyed all his confidence. I think he's turned the corner now. And tomorrow, this is a very important game where he can step up and, he can really adhere himself to the fans' hearts. And, he has played well the last last 6 weeks. I'll say he's been one of the best sort of players they've had. But, I was never jumping on that bandwagon when everyone was like, oh, it's Kai Havertz, 65 million down the drain sort of thing. I thought, let's give him a chance. So I wouldn't say as a player I would have gone and bought. No way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I'm not Arteta. But let's give the fella to the end of the season and see what happens. I think he'll step up now. He's obviously got the pedigree. He's not a mug, and he'll kick on, and he'll be one of the most important players in that team. Do you know what I mean, Alex?
Yeah. Well, what I'm going to say, just to kind of wrap up this one, is we've always said on Canon for TV that when players play really well and the manager has done really well, we will say that.
That's right.
When the players have not played well or the manager has made mistakes, we will also say that, because you can't have your cake and eat it too. That's one thing. The other thing is that players have to remember that when they wear the badge of Arsenal, they're representing the Arsenal, and your behaviour requires you to perform or act a certain way. So 100%. When we have players who are not doing the right thing, like your Aubameyangs, maybe your Ozils and other players there,
got to be called out.
You've got to respect the club. So, but I understand what you're saying, Jonathan and Aldrin. When we've got players who are wearing the badge, we've got to support them, but they've got to remember that they're representing Arsenal and they've got to act a certain way. That's my thoughts.
100%, Alex. Bang on.
We have come to an end on this one. I'm not sure what's happened to Lee. I think Lee is just I think it's probably his phone's just died there.
Or the police caught him.
Bad boys. What are you going to do? They caught up with you, Lee. Sorry, mate, we can't bail you out.
Tottenham police. Anyway, guys, Jonathan, thank you for coming back. I know it's been a while. I know you're out in Mexico on a working vacation, or I don't know, a working vacation on a vacation,
It's,
kind of.
it's legally vacations. You know,
All right, okay.
I would, because my position, I
Leave it on
cannot have.
legally. We don't want you to leave early too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alex. It's always a pleasure to be here. I really enjoyed this time. I really enjoyed this. Thank you to the people from Colombia who is watching. Thank you for the support. And as I mentioned before, we have a lot of meeting in Latam. Just looking for your city, your nearest city, and now it's a surprise Cartagena, for example. A lot of foreigners goes to Cartagena to have holidays, and we have been receiving people from California, Arsenal, California, from
Oh
Arsenal,
wow.
US, from yes, a lot of people. Tomorrow we have two visits also, so it's great. San Jose, Costa Rica will be having a meeting, so it's great to have that atmosphere because John mentioned it. Maybe the football change. Also, Aldrich mentioned it in 21. A channel started to present the Premier League in Latam, and it's hooks ups to the team. So a lot of people watching the games in Latam and feeling the atmosphere. Now those people are going to the stadium sometimes, and
Wow.
it started in a TV. And I saw you in London, remember? So
Yeah, 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 yeah,
let's watch the
yeah.
games together.
Yeah, definitely, man. We're gonna do that very soon. Of course, I went to Costa Rica to see Aldrich. When was October? It was October, wasn't it? Aldrich.
It was
Yeah,
October.
yeah.
October. Well, the first week of November. It
November.
was
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But Aldrich, also, it's always a pleasure to have you on the channel, brother. Thank you for your
For
presence,
me,
man.
the pleasure is mine. I appreciate the time for the invitation, and for me, well, it's the team that I love the most. Even I'm not from England, this is my favorite team in the whole planet. I have an special engagement with the team. I've been making some dreams, starting for that. Well, with that support to the Arsenal, and for me, it's always a pleasure to share my views and also to comment with fellow Gunner brothers, because we are all brothers. That's what we
Absolutely.
have to keep in mind. It's not just the team. It's not just the supporters at the stadium. It's us, the ones that watch it on our beds, on the TV, on our couch. This is a family, and as a family of Gunners, we have to keep supporting. So I appreciate the time and the space.
Brilliant. Well said. And last but not least, John the Geezer Gooner.
Gooners, Alex, I've got a friend with me here who used to play one of the Elf Vencibles. I'd like to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Alex. Thanks for inviting us on, and hope
Cheers.
your families have a very prosperous New Year. Um, as a local gooner, it's fantastic talking with these guys from Colombia and all around the world. It's unbelievable what we can do now, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
great they've got supporters clubs and all that over there. It's absolutely fantastic. You should never feel that you're not part of the Arsenal family, the Arsenal club, because That's what it's all about. The Arsenal fan base and the Arsenal community connecting, supporting the Arsenal, and all helping each other out. Do you know what I mean? And all having our opinions, right or wrong, Alex. But yeah,
Right.
it's fantastic that these guys. I mean, the Arsenal. I don't know if you've ever been to the Arsenal supporters club. It's only a little one in Avenel Road on the corner. Alex knows where it is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's run by a little old lady. I can't remember her name. Her dad, not her dad, her husband was the Arsenal photographer. And if you ever get a chance, you guys, you want to hook up with him and go into that club, because that's got so much history. And that was the original supporters club. And I think what it is now, the club itself, it don't really connect properly like with the fans like it used to. We are the fans are doing it,
It's a
but the
shame.
club ain't doing it, is it, Alex? When do they bring on something like this? You know what I mean? They don't. They just, unfortunately, they just want your money. It's like a
Yeah.
Tesco checkout counter now, in and out. But anyway, it's fantastic, lads, connecting with all you guys here. It's brilliant.
Brilliant. You know,
This is
for a
the
second,
quarter for tomorrow.
for,
That's
for
for
a second there, I was going to leave it right, Aldrich. But Aldrich's going to do a strip, man. Take off.
I didn't take it off. I just
Yeah.
switched sides. I just switched sides just to show you who's going to score tomorrow.
Who's
He's
that?
my guy. He's
Martinelli.
the one that is going to score
Martinelli.
tomorrow.
Yeah, 2 goals, man. He could do it. I reckon Kai Havertz, 65 million down the drain, he'd score again.
Possibly. Anyway, guys, we've come to an end, and I want to echo those thoughts there. You know, if you're watching now on the repeats, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, or Happy Holidays wherever you are in this world of ours. And from us on Cannon Fodder TV, you will see me tomorrow for instant post-game reaction for the Liverpool versus Arsenal game. But until then,
Reds.
this has been Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over.
Schooners.
Come on, you Gunners.
Schooners.